Okay, electrolysis of aqueous solutions. In electrolysis of aqueous solutions, as the name aqueous indicates, water acts as a solvent. Aqua mean ionic compounds are soluble in water, and when they are dissolved in water, then their ions are free to move. It means in the water they dissolve and their ions are free to move. In molten electrolysis, a solid ionic compound needs to be heated to its melting point. Mean such a high voltage current, it breaks up to positive ions and negative ions, and only you see in molten compounds one positive ion generally and one negative ion, and the positive ion cation moves to cathode and got discharge, and negative ion anion moved to the anode and got discharged. Molten compound at its own uses. Molten compounds has its own importance because molten electrolysis yields especially metals like aluminum or sodium or lithium. But aqueous solution even has more variety. You will see varieties of chemicals can be produced like caustic soda, hydrogen gas, chlorine gas, and you will find out that in electrolysis of aqueous solutions we are able to electrolyze even water to produce pure oxygen and hydrogen. Along with that, we will see electrolysis of water or aqueous solution basically provides a mean to refine metals, impure metals to pure metals, and we will see basically the electroplating as well, how metals can be electroplated. So electrolysis of aqueous solution mean water is a solvent. It means always when it is electrolyzed, hydrogen ion and hydroxyl ions are also produced from the water, because water will break up to provide hydrogen ion and hydroxyl ion. And the ionic compound, whatever it is, suppose NaCl it is, will provide sodium ion and chloride ions. If it is sodium chloride, ionic compound will provide cation and anion always. Now it means we have two types of ions, cations, and two types of anions at least. It means at electrodes one thing is going to discharge. When one thing is going to discharge out of two in preference first, it means there are certain rules. We call it as selective discharge rules, preferential discharge rules. And rules are not that complicated, simple. Ion which is lower in the reactivity series, look at ion which is lower in the reactivity series has more right to discharge, like hydrogen ion is lower and sodium ion is quite high. So huge difference. Are lower in the reactivity series, it has more right to discharge. Okay, that is why if we need sodium metal, we cannot electrolyze sodium chloride aqueous, because hydrogen ion is lower and there is a huge difference. So hydrogen ion will discharge into hydrogen gas, but sodium metal will not be produced at the cathode. We need to electrolyze what? Sodium chloride molten in that case. So I said in preferential discharge rule, the ion which is lower in the series has more right to discharge. Fine. Rule 2 says what? If the concentration of the ion, sometimes the solution you use, the electrolyte you use, salt you added is of higher concentration, then in that case the positional effect may be taken over by concentration effect. Especially this case will be seen in between sulfate, nitrate, carbonate. We have fluoride, chloride, bromide and hydroxyl, and the competition most of the time will exist between, you see, say sulfate, nitrate, carbonate has no mechanism to discharge. They are at the top of the series, so these will not discharge ever. If it is sodium sulfate or potassium nitrate or sodium carbonate, you are asked to electrolyze, never think that these ions are going to discharge. They'll stay back in the solution. But if halide ions are competing with fluoride, chloride, bromide and iodide with hydroxyl ion, then we need to be careful, because a little positional difference, gap is so low, positional effect is weak, then hydroxyl will discharge only when the solution is very dilute, I should say, dilute, very dilute, because positional effect is not that strong. Halide ions will take over the charge, they'll get discharged at the anode if the concentration is high in case of concentrated solution. So electrolysis of aqueous solution always will pose you a little challenge. There are at least two kind of cations, two kind of anions, and you need to look at the position of these always in the reactivity series. As it suggests, reactivity series suggests reactivity increases upward And electrochemical series or reactivity series suggests what? Reactivity increases upward, but ease of discharge at the electrode increases downwards. Okay, so if in any electrolytic cell we find a competition between, suppose, zinc ions and hydrogen ion, then hydrogen ion has much more right to discharge. Okay, positional effect is quite strong in cations, but in anions normally we need to be very careful that solution, if it is dilute, then the hydroxyl will come. Okay, so based on these rules we'll take plenty of examples to find out various applications of electrolytic cells which carries out electrolysis of aqueous solutions. Okay, but selective discharge rules will always be based on these two series, the series for cations and for anions. Positional effect, one which is lower has more right to discharge, one thing. Secondly, if it is concentrated, then positional effect may be taken over by, cancelled out by, overweight by concentration effect. Okay, so we'll see varieties of examples based on these rules and applications basically in the industry. So we'll take certain examples. Electrolysis of sodium chloride, NaCl, dilute. Sometimes the word may be very dilute. Mean aqueous solution. Okay, there will be always sodium ions, hydrogen ions as cations, chloride ions, and hydroxyl ion as anions. These two ions from the salt, these two ions from the water. So at electrolytic cell, at cathode, both ions will move towards it. Sodium ions and hydrogen ions. Both ions will move. But sodium ions find no exit because its ease of discharge as compared to hydrogen. Look at the ease of discharge increases downward. You start from here, ease of discharge of hydrogen ion is much more. Lower in the reactivity series, it has more right to discharge. Sodium has less ease of discharge. So it is not given an exit. Hydrogen ion will discharge and it will accept the electron with ease at cathode. You know that cathode basically a plate linked with the negative terminal of the battery in the electrolytic cell rich in electrons, and sodium ion will go, hydrogen ion will go, and accept electron with ease. Their ease of discharge is more or less reactive and they turn to hydrogen gas. Out it comes in the form of gas. No doubt hydrogen ion accept the electron, turn to hydrogen atoms, but in the atom form it never discharges, rather quickly changes to diatomic, has its natural existence. So we show it like this: two hydrogen ions, two electron they accept, turn to hydrogen gas. So observation here should always be what? Colorless gas, and test, it pops in flames. Hydrogen has huge uses in ammonia industry, and hydrogen has uses in making of margarine. Simultaneously at anode, chloride and hydroxyl both will migrate, because just like cathode, anode is positively charged, so both ions will move to the anode. No doubt about that. Moving towards both. But discharge, since it is dilute solution, hydroxyl ion is below chloride ion, so it has a positional effect supporting it. So you'll find out hydroxyl ion will discharge, and discharges in the form like this, and gives away the electron. Another hydroxyl ion will do the same thing. Discharges, gives away the electron. Another hydroxyl ion will do the same thing. Discharges, gives away the electron. and another hydroxyline is doing the same thing. All hydroxylines are doing the same thing. Since they are anions, they should discharge and give away the electron. At anode, anions discharge, electron is depleted out of them. And these, to make the equation simple, you will find out a simple equation is written in this form. 4-hydroxyline, you can even memorize this equation, turns to 2 water molecules, stays back in the solution, oxygen gas, and 4 electrons. To make things simple, at anode, when there is hydroxyline discharging, we know that it happens like this. It turns in the form of what? H2O. Same here. So we have 2 water molecules, and left behind oxygen basically should combine with each other, turns to what? Oxygen gas. So at anode there is loss of electron. Electrolysis is always an application of redox, that at cathode electrons are gained, gain of electron. So reduction of hydrogen ions to produce hydrogen gas, and oxidation of hydroxylines to produce what? Oxygen gas. Bubbles of a colorless gas. Again, oxygen is in the air, it's colorless. Okay, oxygen in the air is colorless. And test for oxygen is it helps in combustion, so it relights a glowing splint. So this is a simple example basically where sodium chloride dilute, if it is electrolyzed, then only positional effect has taken place. Like position of hydrogen is much below, so it will discharge. It has more ease of discharge. And at anions also, hydroxyl ion has more right of discharge because of positional effect. Since the solution is not concentrated, so hydroxyl ion will also go accordingly as it is stated in the positional effect series, or position of the hydroxyl ion in the electrochemical series. So it discharges, oxygen produced. So what are the products of dilute sodium chloride's electrolysis? It is hydrogen gas and oxygen gas. Basically it is the electrolysis of water. Industrially, they are not going to use electrolysis of NaCl dilute. Rather, they carry out the electrolysis of NaCl concentrated, and they call it as brine. Now ions are same, but product at anode will vary. At cathode, it's a competition between sodium ion and hydrogen ion, and you can see from the reactivity series, positional effect of hydrogen ion is so strong that it's not possible that in an aqueous solution sodium ions can get a discharge slip, because they are so below. Hydrogen ions are much below, almost at the foot of the Himalayas, and it's the top. So positional effect of hydrogen ion is so strong. So anywhere if they ask why hydrogen is discharged, you'll always state positional effect. Hydrogen ion will discharge and sodium ion will stay back. But at anode, you will find out that hydroxyl ion will find no exit because chloride ions are in excess. And instead of this mechanism of hydroxyl ion discharge, you will find out that at anode, hydroxyl ion may go, definitely they'll be dragged towards the anode, but hydroxyl ion will not discharge. Rather, positional effect is cancelled out by concentration effect. Chloride ion will find their usual exit as they go off in the form of diatomic chlorine gas, and electrons are given off. So we can have an observation of what? Greenish yellow gas, and it bleaches litmus solution or litmus paper. But always as chlorine is discharged, we need to be careful. We know that it is toxic gas. Chlorine, toxic gas, needs to be handled in airtight cylinders. So in concentrated solution of sodium chloride or brine, industry carries out the electrolysis of brine. They get what? Hydrogen gas. They get what? Chlorine gas. But what is left behind in the electrolytic cell? Electrolytic cell is specially designed for this purpose. So the left behind things like sodium ions and hydroxyl ions are combining with each other and they are producing what? Sodium hydroxide. We call it as what? Caustic soda. It means always there are three kinds of the products they are getting from the electrolysis of brine. What? Hydrogen gas, chlorine gas and caustic soda. Okay, so electrolysis of brine is one very important industrial example of electrolysis or electrolytic cells, because it yields varieties of products, especially the caustic soda, the sodium hydroxide, the base which is used in detergents and making soaps, and chlorine gas, huge uses in the industry. Chlorine gas, because it is used to make bleaching powder, it is used as a disinfectant, it is used as a germicide. We all know that chlorine gas is used in swimming pools to kill the germs and to purify water in water filtration plant. Very common uses you need to memorize. And hydrogen gas obviously has uses, as I said earlier, to change vegetable oil to ghee, and also in ammonia industry. So electrolysis of brine is much more beneficial process. We'll take more examples.